And so one of the reasons that we chose Mainstay, and one of the reasons that I recommend Mainstay, is because Evan told us that, like, hey, this earnest money deposit is non-refundable unless the rehab comes in significantly higher than what I told you. And so he kind of gave us his word that, hey, this is sort of the range of this deal. And if it falls in this range after your due diligence, you've committed to me. But if it doesn't, then I've got your back.
I was working out in Los Angeles, in a film and TV production company, trying to get screenwriting as a career to take off. And I had been there for a few years, and, I'd been interested in real estate, but it wasn't until I left to write full time where I was like, hey, real estate seems like a good, real estate investing seems like a good way to have some cash flow coming in. I visited with Grayson, who we were roommates freshman year of college. So now that's 10 years ago. So went to visit him, and he had been doing some real estate investing. And, basically I kind of leaned on him to actually get my act together. And then we, hopped on Bigger Pockets, kind of did that whole thing where, learned a lot just from listening to podcasts, going online, that kind of thing. And then, kind of buckled down and got serious about wanting to do some BRRRR investing, landed on Indianapolis, flew out there and kind of canvassed neighborhoods, met with people. And now I've since moved from Los Angeles, and got my real estate license. So I'm now licensed in California and kind of going all in on real estate.
My name's Grayson Graham. It's ironic that Alex leaned on me to get started, because now I lean on him to grow our business. He's really tackled out-of-state investing head on. So a little bit about me. I moved to Bend, Oregon about 3 years ago to work for a local real estate developer. And I leveraged that relationship to invest in new construction here. But it's such an expensive market, I was having trouble getting returns. My rentals here get about 0.5% of purchase price as rent.
Once we landed on Indianapolis, I was scouring the Bigger Pockets forum, and, anybody that I kind of saw that was, posting frequently or giving advice, I just reached out to say, hey, we're looking to get started. Would just love to pick your brain. And one of the guys was a guy by the name of Jeb Brilliant, who is an investor out in Long Beach. And he was very generous, gave us a lot of advice, and recommended Evan. Evan's very hands-on and was, texting with us all the time and really dealing with us quite a lot, because we were, as first time buying out of state, you kind of come into this question of wait, what? You're buying in a different state? Do you have family in Indianapolis? No, it just seems like a good market. Okay. So kind of getting us over that fear of wait, are we really just going to buy a house in a city that we've been to once? This just seems crazy. So he was good of convincing us, making sure everything was legit. I remember when we flew out there, this was September, so just about a year ago, Evan, I think, had a wedding to go to and was still texting us in between the day of the wedding and after the wedding, because he knew that we were flying out there. It's dude, just enjoy your wedding. Yeah, we'll call. So yeah, he was really good about being on top of it.
Alex and I decided to pool our money with the goal of acquiring as many doors as we can with that initial pool. So we each brought $50,000 to the table. I'll tell you, it takes a lot of faith in your partner to put $50,000 into a shared bank account. So we took the leap, deposited the money, And you mentioned BRRRR, so buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, and that was our goal with that first duplex. I think we did a pretty good job. We left we left about $10,000.
Yeah, they're about.
But we ended up with $20,000 to $40,000 of equity and a newly renovated property that cash flows. And so if we can just keep repeating that model, we could acquire 10 duplexes with our initial $100,000 investment. Since then, our model has grown a little bit. We realized that just using our money isn't going to help us meet the goals that we've set for ourselves. And so we just started our first deal with private money. And we started out talking to hard money lenders, and I'll tell you, it's very expensive. When COVID hit, it became even more expensive. And so what we learned from our mentors is that it's best to leverage your personal relationships first. Our family believes in us a lot more than the random hard money lenders in Indianapolis. And so we went to them with our business plan. We personally guaranteed the loan. If this deal goes south, we're going to pay it back no matter what. And that helped us secure $130,000 at 8%. So we've got another couple $100,000 lined up, and our business model is sort of evolving from using our $100,000 to repeat the BRRRR model to using our $100,000 to do due diligence, to put down earnest money, to pay for inspections, to do all that, and then to secure our loans with other people, so that we can start picking up more doors faster and really grow our business.
One of the things I think getting into it that I just kind of would have assumed is that, in essence, we're all sort of after the same deals. I mean, any one investor only has the capacity for so many deals at one time, and there's always going to be more deals than you have access to funds and can handle. But I thought people would be a bit more guarded with their recommendations, who they're using, their techniques, and really, and I don't know if this is the same for Jacksonville or St. Louis or somewhere else, but there's just a pretty strong community, and everyone's very open about sharing, hey, I tried this technique and it worked great for me, or hey, I worked with this contractor and you know what, it just turned out okay and there were some rough patches. And that's been very helpful to navigate. So you kind of get that, you get to lean on other people's experiences without having to make those mistakes yourself.
Obviously, there's a lot of wholesalers in Indianapolis. And when we first started this venture, Mainstay wasn't who we were planning to work with. We were working with David Moody, and he was going to be our realtor. And we dodged a colossal bullet by not continuing down that path. And so when the dust kind of settled, we leaned very heavily on recommendations from other investors, and Mainstay was at the very top of the list. It was our first out-of-state investment, and we trusted Evan because he came so highly recommended, and it worked out for us. I'm really happy with the property we bought from him. I will say it was a big leap of faith putting down that earnest money deposit before we had done an inspection and been able to fully understand the deal. And so one of the reasons that we chose Mainstay, and one of the reasons that I recommend Mainstay, is because Evan told us that hey, this earnest money deposit is non-refundable unless the rehab comes in significantly higher than what I told you. And so he kind of gave us his word that, hey, this is sort of the range of this deal. And if it falls in this range after your due diligence, you've committed to me. But if it doesn't, then I've got your back. And having that, knowing that he was willing to take some risk and back up the deal, made me feel comfortable writing him that check for $5,000 and securing that property quick. And that would be my advice to other investors, is if you want to snatch up a great wholesale deal, you need to have money ready. and you need to be willing to put it on the line and dive in quick, and just be all lined up. Have your inspector ready. Have your general contractor ready to maybe multiple general contractors to get quotes, and just you got to put your balls on the chopping block and, and make a move. And it works for us, and we're ready to do it again.